My earnest greetings to Dr. Craig and Refugio. I am Redzster A Fuentes, and I am one of the science major students who enrolled in the Educational Statistics course, which you're supervising this semester. And starting from this moment, I am going to convey or evoke my notions about this supplemental software that adds an additional features or additional commands to the Microsoft Excel Office, which we referred to as the MegaStat software. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to introduce what do I have here. Okay, so this entire table represents the distribution of the scores of my BSN1 students from the different blocks or from the different sections during our 50 item long quiz in biochemistry with the course code of MC2. So this first column here down to the very last digit portrays the number or the quantity of students who are enrolled in my biochemistry class for this semester. And this row here, which is being highlighted by my cursor, represents the names of the blocks or the sections of the BSN1 students who are under my instruction for this semester. On these values here, down to the bottom, also represents their raw scores in our 50 item long quiz in our biochemistry class. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to explore this amusing software, which is what we call as the MegaStat software. Okay, so first we have to navigate through the data section or the data bookmark of our Microsoft Excel's dashboard, and we have to keep our eyes, we have to put our eyes on the right side of the data section, and then we can easily find the MegaStat software or the MegaStat add-in, which is being represented by a bell curve, which really represents the field of statistics, and it lies beside the data analysis toolpack add-in, which is also useful or beneficial in analyzing financial and statistically related data. Okay, so now let us toggle our cursor through the MegaStat software or the MegaStat add-in, and of course we have to click that, just a single click, and there we have it. We can see the features that MegaStat could offer. Okay, so these are the features of the MegaStat. So first from the list are the descriptive statistics, which we are going to utilize later in our practice and analyzing raw data. And it's followed by the frequency distributions for both quantitative and qualitative data. And of course, the probability tests, which includes the counting rules, the discrete probability distributions, the normal distribution, the t distribution, the f distribution, and of course the chi-square distribution. And of course it is followed by the confidence intervals and or the sample size, which is really beneficial, especially when we are going to determine the number of respondents that we are going to utilize in our study. And of course, it is followed by the hypothesis tests or the hypothetical tests, which comprises of the mean versus hypothesized value, and of course a comparison of two independent groups, the paired observations, the proportion versus hypothesis value, the comparison between two independent proportions, and the chi-square variance test. And of course, we also have the ANOVA, or the analysis of variance. We have the one factor, the randomized blocks, and the two-factor analysis of variance. And of course, we have the very generic one, or the commonly used tests or statistical treatments, the correlation and or regression. And it includes the scatter plot, the correlation matrix, and the regression, of course. And we also have the time series or the forecasting, which also comprises the trendline curve fit, the deseasonalization, the moving average, and the exponential smoothing. And we also have the chi-square or crosstab, which comprises the contingency table, the cross-tabulation, and the goodness of fit test. And of course, the non-parametric test, which is the direct opposite of the parametric tests, which ranges from sign test up to the Fisher exact test. And we also have the test for the randomness, the Wilcoxon-Mann-Whitney U test, the Wilcoxon-Sign-Rank test, the Kruskal-Wallis H test, the Friedman test, the Kendall coefficient of concordance, and the Spearman rank order correlation, which is a non-parametric test compared to the Pearson coefficient correlation. I mean the Pearson, yeah, coefficient correlation test, which is a parametric test compared to the Spearman rank order correlation test. And of course, we have the quality control process charts, which I am not familiar with. Yeah, honestly, I'm not familiar with that. And the random number generation, and of course, the utilities wherein we can delete our output sheet, or we can start our new output sheet, or even insert descriptive information and generate data sheet, and or even removing or uninstalling the MegaStat software from its main source. Or I mean, if you want to remove it from the Microsoft Excel Office, then you can uninstall the MegaStat software by accessing the utility section of this particular add-in. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm going to start now with my practice in analyzing this data that I have here, or this data that I have prepared for this video. Okay, so yeah, first we have to click through the MegaStat software or add-in, and then I'm going to choose the descriptive statistics. And there's a lot of options, but I'm going to put a check on the mean, the minimum, the maximum, and the range, and of course the median, the quartiles, the mode, the outliers, and the population variance and standard deviation. And I guess I just have to leave the confidence interval into 95%, and the margin of error is not being specified here, but mostly I mean, yeah, most researchers utilize 5% of margin of error, or the 0.05 margin of error. Okay, so first we have to toggle our cursor into this rectangular structure here, which is the input section, and we just have to click this one, yes, and then we are going to select the range of scores or data that we are going to analyze, and of course we are going to comprise the names of the sections or the blocks of the students who are under my instruction, and we are going to go down into the last score of my student, and then we have to get back here, click this one, and simply click the OK button, and then the MegaStat software will generate the result of our descriptive statistics out of our raw data. And here we can find the counts, or the number of counts. So this represents the number of students who are enrolled in my class, and of course the mean or the average, which we can acquire or obtain by getting the sum of the scores. You have all the scores in every section, and then we are going to divide the sum of the total scores. We are going to divide the sum of all the scores in a particular section into the number of scores in a sample set or in a data set. And here we also have the minimum, the maximum, and the range. And I guess the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest scores. And we also have the population variance, and the standard deviation here. We also have the first quartile, the median, which is part of the central tendency as well, third quartile, the interquartile range, and the mode, which is also part of the central tendency, and the low and high extremes, as well as the low and high outliers. So, all in all, the MegaStat software is easier to navigate compared to the IBM SPSS statistics, Jamovie, and any other complex software that we can use in analyzing data. Just like in the IBM SPSS statistics, you really have to configure all of your data or all of your data sets carefully, so it really requires an advanced knowledge or an expertise to run through series of tests, enabling us to get a more accurate data out a more accurate result out of the statistical tests that we are going to run through in our data set. So I guess that's all for my exploration in this MegaStat software or in this MegaStat add-in. So thank you so much, Sir or Dr. Craig and Refugio, for introducing this really amazing software that we can use in analyzing data, and may the may the holy light shine upon us. Again, thank you so much.